Hey guys, coming to you live from Sam Davis Park. It's another edition of the Coach's Corner Show presented by PES. Wade Neely here. Giles County Bobcats offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach Rip Flippo filling in for Coach O'Connor today. Coach, first of all, welcome back. We had you here last week. You survived, you made the cut, you're back here for another season.
Man, it's always good to get a little pub. I appreciate you having me, no doubt about it.
We're glad that you're here with us. Let's break things down. How impressive were the Cats last week? 35-7 in a win against a pretty good foe on the road at Lincoln County.
Well, yeah, I was real pleased with the way we played the total game. I thought it was our best game offensively. Coach Haynes had a new defensive scheme there, a new look, and the kids played really hard. They bought into it. Special teams was better, and I thought it was overall a pretty good team win for us.
It was a pretty sound win for you guys.
I thought it was, yes.
First offensive drive, the Cats march 80 yards down the field. That would be kind of a theme of the first half, 3 really long touchdown drives. Why were they able to string together those plays to ultimately lead to the touchdown?
Well, you know, we had a good game plan for what they were going to do on defense. Just the coverage they played matched up well with our routes. And the kids came out focused and wanted to make a statement early. We wanted to be aggressive early and not play two opponents there at the beginning of the game as we have done, you know, the last couple of games. So they were really tuned in, dialed into what we were doing, and just made it go.
Coach O'Connor said he wanted the team to get off a fast start. You guys had 3 touchdowns in the first half. You're up 21-0. All 3 passing touchdowns. Was it as close to a perfect of a first half as you could have scripted there?
Well, pretty much, yeah. We still got some things to work on as far as our blocking on the perimeter, you know, hitting the running gaps where we're blocking the ball, and just being a little bit more efficient. But throwing the ball, yeah, we were pretty sharp throwing the ball.
Speaking of throwing it, let's talk about John Bacchus, junior quarterback. He's had an outstanding season thus far, over 300 yards yet again in the win. He had 3 first-half touchdowns. A, why is this kid so special? And B, how high is the ceiling for your junior quarterback right now?
Well, John has played, this is his 3rd year as a varsity starter. He played 2 years at Athens 6A football there, which is really tough. Started as a freshman there. And the big thing is his pocket was clean all night Friday night. So Coach Kirk does a great job coaching our offensive line. Pass protection is a specialty of his. And our receivers did a great job catching the ball. We hadn't had a drop in 2 weeks. So they've been dialed in catching the ball. And now John's accurate.
Yep.
So, I mean,
like 4 incompletions?
He was 21 for 25. And, if you throw the ball where they can catch it, I mean, our guys will catch it and run with it. We've got some real skill there.
How impressive is it, his ability to pick out different receivers? We've seen 5, even 6 pass catchers at times during the year for the Bobcats.
Well, that's the way we want it, and I have to stay on John about spreading the ball around a little bit because like any good quarterback, he can zone in on a guy, Peyton Hall or KJ, and it can get kind of unbalanced there. But we're good enough to spread the ball around and make the defense have to cover all 5 guys, and that's what we want to do. So he's starting to do a good job with that.
Saw some new wrinkles. John Bacchus actually running the football, especially out of kind of some gives and some fakes there. Kind of some things still developing in the playbook that we saw last Friday?
Well, the quarterback run game, if you're going to be in a one-back offense, well, he's the secondary ball carrier. So that's something that you pretty much just have to do. And then, Coach O'Connor, he's really skilled with being creative in the running game and mixing up different run schemes right there. And John is more elusive than he appears.
Yeah.
So he's not a zero in the run game at all. He's doing a good job with that.
He's looked solid. We saw some new packages from the Bobcats. The old Bobcat fans, they love this one, the smokestack eye. Coach O'Connor, that's a staple of his.
Right.
We finally saw it last week. How fun is it when you get to line up in that old school Maryland eye and run the ball down some people's throats?
Well, that's just part of the package that we do. And, we want to be very multiple and make the defense have to cover a lot of ground, anything from empty to the smokestack eye you're talking about right there. And we want to be efficient and proficient at all of it. So, I mean, I like it. I like where we're headed offensively.
Saw some new players in some new roles. Trillian Marks got a couple carries, I believe, last week. Is that by design or is that a necessity? Or what's the forecast going forward?
What we're looking at right there is just, constantly trying to evolve and improve. We needed some more punch out of our fullback right there, so we put Drew Hawk in there at center, put Jared Roberts over at right guard right there. And that seemed to work out pretty good, and that's something that we'll just keep mixing and matching, if you will, till we get the right combination right there and just try to keep rolling with that. Yeah.
So with Trillion and with Key McDonald, how big were their eyeballs whenever you called that play that they both going to get their hands on the ball?
Well, they like that. I mean, and now they've been badgering me all week about more carries. So, what I tell Key is, if you can get 10 tackles, we might let you run it. So, but he did a good job running it. And he told me he was going to score. He didn't. But
close,
but
yeah.
he ran to score, and that's the big thing we want to focus on is we're going to hand you the ball, then run to score, and he did a good job.
Talking run game, finally, let's wrap that portion up with Arkell Reed. Another solid performance. What is so impressive about your senior tailback back there?
Well, this right here, when he runs the ball, he runs behind his pads. And if you notice, a lot of people bounce off of him. Mm-hmm. He's more of a glider. He doesn't look like he's running real hard, but, when on contact, people just kind of bounce off of him a little bit, and he's always falling forward. That's the big thing of running the football. When you get hit, fall forward, not going backwards. He usually does that.
Finally, offensive line, you mentioned Coach Kirk. Is he working miracles with these guys? It seems like the O-line is improving every single week.
They are. He's a veteran. I've talked about him a lot. In my career, I've never been around an offensive line coach like him. I'm really excited to be working with him. He's got a lot of experience in pass protection, different run schemes, and he's only been here for 6 months, 7 months, and just getting everybody going. I think he's doing a great job right there, as expected.
Coach Flippo, you've been around the block. You've been to many stops along the way. Where do you see this offense right now? If you had to grade them through the midway mark, we're at week 5 of the regular season.
Well, we haven't been as consistent as we want to be. And I think from that standpoint, the first game kind of ruined us a little bit. Yeah. Everything that we did against Columbia seemed to work, and then we played 2 really tough teams that played us really hard, and we didn't play as consistent or as efficient, really about a half in each game. Fortunate to win one of them. The other one, we missed out on a chance to win. But we learned a lot from that, and I thought that was the big carryover Friday is we started fast, and then we maintained that all the way through the game. So that's what we're looking for. I don't worry so much about the opponent. Mm-hmm. I try to get our guys to play at their maximum level. Now, if we can do that, that's all you can do. So that's what we strive for.
We've talked obviously about the offense, given your role with the team, but defense seems like Coach O'Connor was very impressed with them. Maybe even their best performance last week.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. And Coach Haynes, I've worked with him before. He's a veteran. He's got a lot of schemes, a lot of good stuff, and the main thing with anything is being successful and gaining confidence. To me, that's what we kind of lacked the first 3 weeks. And Friday night, we got off to a good start. It was a new scheme. It probably suits our personnel a little bit better. And they had success and gained some confidence right there, and I thought did a great job. Any
other final thoughts before we close here? Big win, 35-7. Seemed like you ran the ball well and threw the ball effectively at times.
Well, we did, and winning's winning, and it never gets old. And we're 1-0 in the region. We come back into region play this week, so our kids ought to be confident. They've been focused, and I think we're gonna just try to coach them better, get 1% better every day we're out there.
Good deal.
Keep rolling.
Bobcats, they go to 3-1. They have a huge test this Friday in region play against Marshall County. Coach Flippo and I will be back on the other side of this timeout. This is the Coach's Corner Show presented by PES.
In 2012, enough prescriptions were written for opioid pain medication for every American adult to have their own bottle of pills. 1 in 4 non-cancer related users struggles with addiction. Physical therapy is a safe and effective alternative to opioids for long-term pain management. Choose the safer way to manage pain. To learn how physical therapy can be an alternative for pain management, contact Benchmark Physical Therapy to schedule a consultation.
I've got my closest friends over to watch the game on cable. Did you know you can advertise your local business during this cable program? Via Media represents the advertising for your cable system. They could put a TV commercial for you right here on this system during this show. Let Via Media help you. Call Via Media today or viamediatv.com.
Have you been thinking about getting back in shape? Or maybe you're an avid exerciser looking for something different? Come check us out at P-Town Strength and Fitness, where we offer a wide variety of functional movements, systematically programmed to help you get started and maximize your physical potential. Enjoy the sense of community, camaraderie, and teamwork in our one-of-a-kind group setting that will assist you in your quest for physical well-being. For more information, check us out on Facebook at P-Town Strength and Fitness or stop by at 200 East Jefferson Street in Pulaski.
This is the circuit courtroom of the Giles County Courthouse. Every day, important decisions are made affecting people's rights and privileges. When you are in need of legal services, please allow the experienced lawyers of Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to assist you in every step.
I'm Andy Hoover. For your free initial consultation, please feel free to call our firm or visit our website. We're here to help.
Hey guys, welcome back. Second half of the Coach's Corner Show presented by PES. I'm Wade Neely alongside Bobcats offensive coordinator Rip Flippo. Coach Flippo, Marshall County this week. Not only is it a region game, not only is it the halfway mark of the regular season, the biggest rivalry game of the season thus far for the Bobcats on the road this Friday night.
Well, it's going to be a big game, huge rivals. One thing we've talked about with our players is winning creates big games. They're 4-0. We've done a good job being 3-1, so it's going to be, it's going to be a big game. It's going to be a big measuring stick for us.
Obviously, Coach O'Connor coming back. There's multiple implications with him, and he obviously knows the coaching staffs. Everybody knows one another. How quickly did you guys circle this game on the calendar? I know coaches don't like to peek ahead, but this is one you got to have been thinking about for a while.
Well, it is. They've got, of course, their quarterback played here. Brother's a legend here. He's one of those status players around here that we talk about that's got a secure legacy. So it's big. Coach O'Connor knowing those guys, Coach Osteen, they do a great job coaching that team. They've got some good players. They won't beat themselves. So it's going to be a real challenge for us.
Yeah, offensively, or I guess let's look at the defense first for Marshall County, considering on your status here. What have you seen on tape where you think the Bobcats, so maybe don't give too much away, but where can the Bobcats maybe have some success Friday night offensively?
Well, the thing with us is like what I told you earlier. We're just going to focus on us and do what we do. Our game plan is always set up around coverage structure and in the passing game, and then the front structure in the run game. And we've played both of those before. We've got some experience with that. Marshall County's a big physical team. I think their secondary is the best part of their defense. They're active in the run game. They'll play some zero coverage right there, make you beat them. And so they're real athletic, aggressive, and we've got to be ready for that. We've got to be prepared for that.
We talked about the quarterback play in the first segment here. Something I wanted to get into also, how much control are you giving John at the line as far as making some reads? Seems like he's really kind of dinking and dunking some quick passes if he sees the defense giving him something lately.
Well, he's getting better at that all the time. I had him as a freshman, and the system's very similar to what we're running now. And then last year, at Athens, he was a completely different system. So it's taken a little bit to get him back to where I think he should be. But, as we go on, you'll see him having more and more freedom as we go. In a perfect world, he'd have a lot.
Right.
He's got the best view in the stadium. So, but he's not there yet. We've got to keep working with him and get him there to where he can have that control that we're looking for.
How exciting is that process? And can you maybe even walk us through the folks that aren't in the booth with you guys on Friday nights? You call one play, 5 wide receivers, empty backfield. The very next play, you may have 2 or 3 tight ends in there and a couple of fullbacks. How wild is that process up in the booth with you guys?
Well, what happens as far as that goes is, Coach O'Connor and I, of course, meet daily. By Tuesday, we'll have our game script ready. So we've got a script of plays right there. We want to change personnel a lot. So it's not hectic at all, really, because we've done that.
Right.
Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday's really the easy part for the players, So we script that to where we give them, different tight end formations, spread formations, 2 back, no tight end. We've got all that in there so we can see how they're going to line up right there. And it also gives us a chance to see what's working, what's effective for us for later in the game.
Yeah, you guys still working to maybe install some stuff as not just this Friday, but you're looking, beyond. We're at the midway mark of the season. You got to start thinking about those other games. Let's switch gears. Obviously, with the defense, this is going to be a tough matchup. You mentioned Bryce Wallace, the younger brother of Bo Wallace.
Right.
What does he bring to the table? You're obviously a great evaluator of talent and quarterbacks specifically. What's he bring to the table here?
Well, confidence. I think you play really good when you're confident. He's been in that system there for this will be his third year. You know, he watched his brother play in it here. I'm sure his brother's a big help to him right there. They've got some really good receivers. You know, their running game is pretty good. I think they could run the ball more. I think they'd be a good running team if they chose to do so. You know, but their strength is their receivers. And they're a confident group of players. You can tell they've won a lot of games. They've been in some big games. They're comfortable in that setting. And, you know, I think Bryce is too. Just, you know, being a younger brother of a guy that's been through it, that doesn't do anything but help you.
It's going to be obviously a raucous environment on Friday night. Coach O'Connor likes to talk about the 12th man. Bobcats have been traveling well this season. How critical is it going to be for those fans to make the trip up to Lewisburg?
It's going to be huge. I mean, the players feed off that, you know. But, you know, on the other side, Wade, we got to do something to get them involved and get them fired up, you know. So they feed off the players, and in return, the players feed off of that. So it's going to be wild. We got to make them wild.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one on Friday. Biggest thing you would like to see, kind of a few questions here. Biggest thing you'd like to see your offense improve on from week 4 to week 5 this Friday night?
Well, blocking on the perimeter is a big thing. And, you know, third down conversions, you know, not taking a sack on the third down, you know, costing us a bunch of yards. We did that Friday night. But just being better decision makers. And the number one thing I want to see is just keep building confidence and keep playing with more confidence and just getting better. I think that's where it starts from, is being successful, being confident. And the more you do that, the more aggressive you play, turn loose your body, and go have some fun. You know, put a smile on their face and go have fun.
Coach Roger Haynes in the defense, what do they have to do to slow down that vaunted offense?
Well, it's going to be a challenge, you know. You got to play physical. When you play people that like to throw the ball around, physicality is always a plus, you know, and put a hat on some receivers, be aggressive in the run game right there, pressure the quarterback a little bit, see if you can't make him make a quick decision that he's not comfortable making, generate some turnovers, or just some big hits, you know, have some big hits in the game.
I'm sure there will be 0 gadget plays in the playbook for this week.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Wade. I mean, you never know what's going to come flying out of the playbook on Friday night.
Good deal. Coach, it's going to be electric on Friday. We want to thank you for joining us. Best of luck this weekend.
Man, I appreciate it. It's always a thrill to be here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's all the time we've got for this edition of the Coach's Corner Show, presented by PES. Giles County, huge game Friday night at Marshall County. They wrap up a 3-game road trip in Lewisburg. For Bobcats offensive coordinator Rip Flippo, I'm Wade Neely. We'll see you Friday night, and we'll see you right back here on the Coach's Corner Show, presented by PES.